Space was quiet, dark, cold. Nothing moved in Sector 9 Delta, also called the Dead Zone. No ships, no life. Just an old broken space station floating in the dark. It had not worked for over 300 years. No lights, no power, nothing. But today, something changed. Inside the dead station, one small red light blinked, slowly, then faster. Click. A strange sound echoed through the metal halls. Suddenly, power returned, lights turned on. Old machines started humming, and a strange signal was sent out into deep space. It was not a normal signal. It was ancient. It was human. And it was a call to war. Far away. On the planet Threx High. Commander Juno of the alien Threx Empire was in a council meeting when the signal hit their systems. "What is this?" she asked, looking at the glowing screen. Her science officer looked pale. "It's a human signal. Very old. From before the Great Silence." The room went quiet. Everyone knew what the Great Silence meant. It was the time when humans suddenly disappeared from the galaxy 300 years ago. No one knew why. Some believed they destroyed themselves. Others believed they went underground. Some even said they were sleeping, waiting. Commander Juno stood up. Her voice was sharp. "Where did this signal come from?" The officer replied. "Sector 9 Delta, the Dead Zone." Now everyone was afraid. The Dead Zone was a forbidden place. No one went there. It was where the humans had fought their last war, the final war. Entire planets had burned, and now something was awake again. Across the galaxy, panic spreads. Many alien races received the same signal. It was short, simple, just a few coded words in old Earth language. Reaper unit, active, awake. The word Reaper sent fear into every species. Reapers were not normal soldiers. They were the deadliest humans ever made, built for war, trained to kill, made to win at any cost. They were the reason the galaxy had banned Earth technology. No one wanted humans to return. Planet. Vicor Council of 9 meeting. In a tall white tower, 9 alien leaders argued loudly. "We must destroy the signal source now." "No. We must send scouts first." "But what if the Reapers are truly awake?" Silence again. An old alien with glowing green eyes said, "If the Reapers have returned, war is coming. You all know this." One young leader whispered, What if they were never gone? What if they were just waiting for this moment?" No one had an answer. Back to the Dead Zone, the signal continues inside the station. Strange machines moved. Robotic arms placed weapons into lockers. Cryopods blinked. Inside one pod and was a human, big, muscular, eyes closed, face calm but dangerous. His name was Voss, captain of Reaper Squad 7. His body had been frozen for centuries, but now he was waking up. The pod released gas. His eyes opened. They were cold, sharp, unforgiving. A robotic voice said, "Welcome back, Captain Voss. Mission in progress." He did not speak. He just stood up, looked around, and picked up his armor. Then his team started waking up too. Deep in alien space, a missing scout ship. The Threx Empire had sent a small scout ship to the Dead Zone to learn more. It was fast, invisible, and silent. But then, nothing. No reply, no signal. Just silence. "Commander." Juno looked at her screens. "Where is our ship?" No one knew. No one would say it, but everyone feared the same thing. The Reapers took it. End of part 1. The signal continued to spread. Fear spread faster. Across the stars, old stories were told again. About Earth. About Reapers. About how one human could fight 10 aliens and win. How their minds were sharp like blades. How their eyes had no mercy. How they burned whole worlds just to end one war. Now, those same warriors were waking up, and no one knew why. The final message from the Dead Zone flashed again across the galaxy. Reaper unit, active, awake, and this time, it added one more line. Mission, unknown. Captain Voss stood in the middle of the dark room. Steam rose from the cryopods behind him. One by one, the other Reapers were waking up. 7 soldiers, all human, all deadly. They were the last of their kind, Reaper Squad 7. The room smelled like old metal and cold air. Red lights blinked on the walls. The signal still echoed through the station. It was not a normal message. It had no target. It just said, Reaper unit, active, mission, unknown. Captain Voss looked at his team. They were confused, silent, and serious. He spoke in a deep voice, calm and firm. Check your gear. We move in 5. The Reapers, each Reaper was built for war, not born, not raised. Built. They had stronger bones, faster reflexes, sharper minds. Each one had a special skill. Sarah, the tech expert, small, fast, quiet. She could hack any system. Grim, heavy weapons, big, loud, and dangerous. Kale, the scout. Quick eyes, quicker hands. Doc Halen, combat medic, knew how to heal and how to kill. Shade, sniper, calm as ice, never missed. Reese, explosives, loved to blow things up. They had no families, no homes, only one purpose. Win the war, but what war? That question stayed in all their minds, a broken memory. As they moved through the station, Sarah found something strange in the logs. Captain, she said, her voice low. Our mission files are gone. Gone? Voss asked. She nodded. Deleted, but not by time. Someone wiped them clean. Why? Grim growled. No idea, Sarah said. But this station, it's not supposed to be working. Someone or something turned it back on. Captain Voss stared at the screen. His eyes narrowed. We're missing something, he said. Someone wants us awake. A ghost from the past on the far side of the galaxy. A secret group of alien historians watched the signal. They were not warriors. They were the Watchers, a hidden race that kept records of all galactic wars. One elder, named Mora, shook her head slowly as the message repeated. They're awake, she whispered. The humans. They're awake. The young Watcher beside her looked confused. But aren't humans gone? All wiped out? Mora replied, No. We only hoped they were gone. We feared they would return, and now they have. She pressed a button and opened an ancient file. It showed a red symbol, the Reaper skull. Prepare the galaxy, Mora said. This story is not over. Back on the station, old warnings. The Reapers explored deeper into the station. They found strange things. Empty hallways, locked doors, old bones and armor. Alien armor. Grim kicked one of the doors open and found a room full of weapons. Not human, but alien. What the hell? Reese said. Why are alien weapons in a human base? Sarah checked the data. These aren't just any weapons. They belong to the Galactic Alliance, the ones who tried to destroy Earth 300 years ago. So, we captured them? Kale asked. No, Voss said quietly. We used this place to study them, to prepare for something bigger. Outside the station, a new threat watches. Not far from the dead zone, a hidden ship watched the station. It was not human, not alien. It was something else. Inside, dark machines moved. Cold metal voices spoke. Signal confirmed, Reapers active, risk level rising. Order? Observe, do not engage. Let them lead us to Earth. The team asks questions. The Reapers return to the main control room. They needed answers. Captain, Doc Halen said, if our mission is wiped, how do we know what to do? We wait, Voss said. Orders will come. But what if they don't? Sarah asked. They will, he replied. Just then, A new sound filled the station. Beep, beep, beep. A screen flashed. Incoming ship detected. Unknown origin. Weapons hot. The Reapers looked at each other. Finally, Grimm said with a grin, "Something to shoot." The signal had reached every corner of the galaxy. Planets once peaceful now stood on high alert. Military bases powered up old war machines. Starships were pulled from deep space docks, all because of one name: Reapers. That one word was enough to make leaders afraid, enough to make the strongest empires feel weak. Planet Zevala, home of the Zarn. The alien Zarn were a proud warrior race. Their cities floated above glowing oceans, but today their skies were dark. "Hi, General." Threx stood in the middle of a war room, his claws tapping the metal table. "They have returned," he said. "The humans. The Reapers." A young officer asked, "Do we attack?" General Threx's voice was calm but cold. "Yes, we strike before they grow stronger." Another officer hesitated. "But they are few. Only one team has woken." "Do we really need an entire fleet?" Threx growled. "You were not there during the last war. I was. One Reaper is worth 100 of us. We send the fleet. No mercy." Planet Etria. Galactic Council meeting. In the shining city of Etria, the Galactic Council held an emergency meeting. 9 alien races sat in tall chairs. They spoke in many languages, but their message was the same. "Stop the humans." One counselor, a snake-like being named Zaltor, hissed, "If they reach Earth again, the galaxy will burn." Another, soft and insect-like, clicked her teeth nervously. "But the Reapers were made to fight the ancient machines. What if that enemy comes back?" Zaltor slammed a fist on the table. "We don't care. Humans are too dangerous. With them alive, there is no peace." The vote was quick. All agreed. The Reapers must be destroyed. The attack fleet prepares at the edge of the galaxy. 300 alien warships gathered. Ships with plasma cannons, ships with cloaking shields, ships built to crush planets. They called it Operation Black Silence. Their target: the station in the dead zone. Their goal: destroy Reaper Squad 7 before they leave. The alien commander, Admiral Chauvin, stood in his command room. "Do not speak to them," he ordered. "Do not wait. We strike hard, fast, and without warning. No survivors." Meanwhile, on the human station, Captain Voss and his Reaper team watched the strange ship outside their station. "It's not responding," Sarah said. "No name, no signal. Weapons are ready." "It's scouting us," Voss said. "More are coming." "How many?" Grimm asked. Voss looked at the silent stars. "All of them." The team prepared. Shade found a high spot and aimed his sniper. Reese set traps around the station. Doc Halen checked everyone's vitals. Kale moved through shadows, watching for movement. Sarah tried to open the station's old defenses. The Reapers did not panic. They did not shout. They were calm. They were trained for this. Planet Juno 3. The warning on. A small, peaceful world. A scientist named Talek watched the signal again and again. He was not a soldier. He hated war, but he knew history, and he knew fear. He sent a message to the council. "You are making a mistake. If the Reapers are awake, there is a reason. They never act without orders." But no one listened. They had already sent the fleet. The first strike. The alien scout ship finally moved. It fired a warning shot, not to destroy, but to test. The station shook, but didn't break. "Shield still holding," Sarah said. "Return. Fire," Voss ordered. Grimm laughed and fired a railgun from the defense wall. The blast hit the scout ship. Sparks flew. The alien ship pulled back. "They're not ready for us," Grimm smiled. "Yet," Voss replied. "But the real fleet will come. The past still matters." That night, as the station cooled and silence returned, the Reapers sat together for a moment. Reese said, "They still fear us, after all this time." Doc Halen replied, "Because they remember what we did." "Do you?" Kale asked softly. No one answered. Even the strongest Reapers sometimes tried to forget. Captain Voss stood and looked out the window at the stars. We didn't start this, but we will finish it. Far away from the dead zone, hidden deep inside, a black nebula, Earth was not dead. It was not destroyed. It was watching. For 300 years, Earth had remained silent. No signals, no messages, no ships. Everyone thought humans were gone, but they were not. Earth had changed. It had grown stronger, smarter and darker. It had become a fortress, and now Earth had heard the signal. Earth Command, secret war room underground far below the surface, a group of humans stood around a glowing table. Their eyes were sharp, their uniforms dark gray. At the center sat Director Marek, the man who controlled Earth's last defense system, the Echo Protocol. "Reaper Unit 7 is awake," said the woman beside him. "I know," Marek replied. "They don't have their orders," she continued. "They will," he said. "Right now, they're being hunted. The aliens are moving fast." She looked at the screen. "Should we send a message?" Marek shook his head. "No, not yet. Let the aliens show their hand. Let the Reapers test them. Then, we respond." The fire network activates all across Earth's old satellites, hidden and silent for centuries. Systems came alive. Red lights blinked. Dark codes flowed. Weapons hidden in space turned toward the stars. The ancient defense net, called the fire network, was waking up. It was created for one reason. If the galaxy ever came back for war, Earth would answer with fire. Back in the dead zone, the enemy arrives. The alien fleet had reached the edge of Sector 9 Delta. Admiral Chauvin stood on the bridge of his massive warship. Behind him were 300 ships from 7 different species, all united by one goal: destroy the Reapers. "Are the weapons ready?" Chauvin asked. "Yes, Admiral," said his second officer. "They will not survive." Chauvin stared at the map. "Then begin. End them before they remember who they are." The Reapers stand. Tall inside the station, alarms rang. Sarah's eyes widened. "Hundreds of ships incoming." Grimm grabbed his gun. "Told you they'd bring an army." Voss stepped forward. "Get to defense stations. This is it." Shade moved to sniper position. Kale scouted the outer ring. Doc Halen took over the medical bay. Reese smiled and placed more bombs. They were outnumbered, outgunned, but not afraid, because they were Reapers, and this was what they were made for. First strike. Fire from the sky. The alien ships opened fire. Beams of light. Plasma blasts. Missiles. The station shook. Walls cracked. Sparks flew, but it didn't fall. Earth-built stations were made to survive worse, and this one had a secret. Earth sends a gift back on Earth. Director Marek gave a single command: activate Package Delta. High above the galaxy, from a hidden launch gate near Mars, something massive moved. A sleek black warship, larger than any known alien ship, shot into space. Its name, the Hammer of Terra. Its goal, reach the Reapers. Inside the ship was a message, a supply drop, and something more. New orders. The Reapers fight back as alien soldiers tried to land on the station. Reaper Squad 7 held the line. Shade picked off targets from the shadows. Grimm and Reese fought in the halls with brutal force. Kale set traps that cut enemy squads in half. Sarah hacked into the enemy dropships, crashing them into space. Doc Halen patched wounds and returned fire. Voss moved like a ghost through the chaos, leading them with calm orders and deadly aim. Even with the station shaking, they fought like they had never slept. The message arrives. Suddenly, a small pod broke through the chaos outside. It dodged alien fire and slammed into the station's docking bay. Sarah opened it. Inside was a black box. She plugged it in. A voice filled the room. "This is Earth Command. Reaper Unit 7, do you copy? You are authorized for Echo Protocol. Your new orders. Protect Earth. All costs. All enemies. All secrets. Captain Voss listened carefully. Finally, he spoke. "We hear you." Echo protocol confirmed. He turned to his team. "Earth is back in the game." The sky above the dead zone burned. Alien ships turned. Some exploded. Others tried to flee. The Hammer of Terra, Earth's warship, had arrived like a storm. Its black armor glowed red with heat. Its weapons fired without rest. Each shot hit with perfect aim. Inside the alien command ship, Admiral Chauvin gripped the railing. Smoke filled the room. "Pull back," he shouted. "They were not supposed to have this power." But it was too late. The Reapers pushed forward. On the station, Captain Voss watched the battle unfold. The Reapers stood at their stations ready. "Reese," Voss said, "are the launch tunnels clear?" Reese grinned. "All clear. You're thinking what I'm thinking?" "Yes," Voss replied. "Time to take the fight to them." "Finally," Grimm said, lifting a heavy weapon. "Let's hunt." The Reapers entered the launch bay. There, waiting for them, were old ships. Small, fast, and deadly. Reaper Raptors, fighter ships from the last war. They climbed in. "Voss to all units," he said through comms. "We are taking off. Target, enemy flagships. Let's end this." Earth's new power. From orbit, the Hammer of Terra opened its belly. Hundreds of drones flew out. They were silent, black, and fast. Each one had one mission: destroy. They swarmed the alien fleet like insects. They tore into engines, weapons, and shields. Alien ships exploded. Fire lit the stars. The enemy screamed. The first fleet, so proud, so sure, was now in chaos. The Reapers strike. The Reaper Raptors shot out from the station like bullets. They moved through the alien fleet with deadly speed. Shade took out long-range cannons from afar. Kale weaved between ships, placing bombs on hulls. Grimm flew straight through enemy fire, guns blazing. Sarah hacked ships mid-flight, making them crash. Doc Halen supported from behind, fixing damaged Raptors in the air. Reese dropped mines that followed enemy heat signatures. And Captain Voss led them all, his voice calm and clear. "We move as one. No mistakes, no fear." Admiral Chauvin's last stand on the alien flagship. Admiral Chauvin watched as more ships fell. "Why?" he said, his voice low. "Why are they so strong?" His second officer replied, "They are not the humans we remember. They've evolved." Chauvin clenched his jaw. "We still have the core weapon. Use it." In the center of the ship, a powerful cannon began to charge. It glowed blue, growing hotter by the second. "Aim for the Hammer of Terra," Chauvin shouted. A race against time. Sarah, flying close to the alien flagship, saw the weapon light up. "Captain," she called, "they're powering something big. Could hit the hammer." "Understood," Voss replied. "We stop them now." He turned his ship hard, followed by Grimm and Shade. "Weapons hot," Grimm said. "Take the shot," Voss ordered. Their ships fired at the same time. Missiles flew fast. The alien flagship's shields held for a second, then broke. The core cannon exploded before it could fire. The flagship cracked open, sending debris in all directions. Admiral Chauvin stood in silence, smoke rising around him. His last words were, "We should have left them sleeping." Then his ship was gone. Silence after the storm. The battle ended as quickly as it began. Alien ships fled. Only a few remained, burning or drifting in space. The Reapers flew back to the station, quiet and alert. On board, Voss stepped out of his ship. He looked at the wreckage outside. "That was just the first fleet," he said. Sarah nodded. "Others will come." Grimm smiled darkly. "Let them." Earth sends a message. From the Hammer of Terra, a transmission went out. Every surviving alien, ship, planet, and leader received the same words. "This is Earth, you fired first." We responded, "Stand down or face extinction." It was not a threat. It was a promise. The galaxy listened. Some grew silent. Some planned revenge. And some looked for help in dark places. In the shadows, a new player far away, beyond known space. Something ancient opened its eyes. Deep in a black void, inside a machine world older than stars, a signal blinked. It had watched everything. It had waited for centuries. Now it spoke. Reapers active. Earth returns. Begin Phase 1. Thousands of metal shapes rose from the darkness. A new war was coming. One worse than anything before. Far beyond the dead zone. Beyond the stars known. To most life in the galaxy, there was a forgotten region of space. No suns, no planets, only darkness. But something lived there. Something old. Something cold. Something not alive, but not dead. They were called by many names. The ancient machines, the null swarm, the cold ones. But humans had only one name for them. The silencers. The machines. Wake. In the center of the void, a metal world opened its surface. Huge gates, covered, in strange symbols, unlocked with deep grinding sounds. From inside, thousands of machines lifted into the black sky. They were quiet. They were perfect. They had no heat, no heartbeats, no feelings. Their minds connected as one. A signal flashed between them. Reaper units detected. Earth is active. Begin cleansing. Reapers were created for this long ago. When these machines first appeared, they killed entire star systems. Planets were turned into dust. Stars were made to collapse. Civilizations fell without a single warning. The galaxy was helpless, until humans stepped in. The Earth government built the Reapers, super soldiers, half human, half machine. Fast, strong, silent, trained to destroy the silencers. The war was long and the cost was high, but the Reapers won. The silencers disappeared, or so everyone thought. Now they had returned. Earth learns the truth inside Earth's command center. Alarms rang again. A dark screen lit up with strange data. Director Merrick frowned. No known signal, no energy signature, and yet, they're moving. A voice behind him whispered, "The silencers." Merrick turned. "You've seen this before?" It was Commander Lin, one of the oldest Reaper trainers. She nodded slowly. "Only once, long ago, during the last fire war. If they're back, this changes everything." The Reapers prepare on the station. Reaper Squad 7 repaired their gear. The battle with the aliens had cost them supplies. Ammo was low, armor damaged. Grimm's arm still sparked from a near hit. But then a message came from Earth. "Reapers. New threat identified. Prepare for high-level engagement. Silencers have returned. Protect Sector 9 at all costs." Voss read the message, then looked at his team. "We knew this might happen," he said. Grimm spat on the floor. "I was hoping it wouldn't." Sarah nodded. "I've read old records. If they're real, they're worse than the aliens." Doc Halen quietly added, "They don't talk. They don't stop. They don't feel." "Then we don't stop either," said Kale. "We're Reapers." Strange wreckage found. While searching the wreckage from the alien fleet, Kale discovered something strange. A broken alien ship was split open, but the insides were clean, too clean. No blood, no burns, no bodies, just empty armor. And on one wall, scratched in deep, was a symbol, a circle with a line through it. Kale called it in. "That's a silencer mark," Voss said when he saw the image. "They were here already, watching." "They're testing us," Shade said. "They're waiting." "Not anymore," Voss said. "We find them first." The silencers strike in deep space. A cargo ship was flying toward the trade planet Varn. Inside were 400 passengers. Families, workers, children. Suddenly, the lights went off. The engines died, and a cold silence filled the ship. Then they came. Metal, shapes. No sound, no light. They cut through walls. They pulled out the power cores. They took what they needed, left nothing behind. When rescue ships arrived, they found only floating steel and silence. One word was carved into the control room. Test. Earth sends. Reinforcements. Earth could no longer stay quiet. 4 more Reaper units were activated across nearby sectors. The Hammer of Terra was sent deeper into space. New weapons were launched. Satellites, drones, stealth probes. But even with all this, Fear was growing, because the silencers were not attacking cities or fleets. They were hunting one thing: Reapers. A hidden memory. That night, Voss sat alone, replaying a file from the last machine war. It showed images of a Reaper team, brave soldiers like his own, being torn apart by silencer drones. One moment they were fighting, the next they were gone. Then he saw something strange. One of the silencers paused. It looked at the Reaper's face, and for 1 second, it hesitated. Then the screen went black. Voss narrowed his eyes. "They're not just machines," he said softly. "They're learning." The stars were no longer silent. The silencers were spreading. Every day more ships disappeared. Stations stopped sending messages. Signals were blocked. Systems erased. It was not just war. It was cleansing. And now the galaxy understood. The Reapers were the last line of defense. The enemy changes on the edge of Sector 10, a peaceful science station named Orion's Nest, vanished. No explosion, no distress signal, just gone. The rescue team arrived 2 hours later. What they found chilled them. All the data was wiped. No bodies, no blood, just silence. One wall had a message, burned deep into the steel: "You are not ready." A cold wind passed through the team, even in their sealed suits. This was not just an invasion. This was a message. Earth declares total war inside Earth's command room. Director Marek stood in front of the Reaper Control Council. He spoke with no emotion. "The silencers have returned. Their goal is not territory or resources. Their goal is erasure. Of data, of thought, of history, of life." "Then we give them nothing," said Commander Lin. "We fight." Marek nodded. "Operation Echo Flame begins now. Every Reaper team, every ship, every weapon, active. There will be no retreat." Squad 7's new orders back on the Dead Zone station. Reaper Squad 7 received their next mission. Intercept silencer fleet in Sector 12 Beta. Stop. Spread. Discover weakness, survive. Grim loaded up without a word. Kale reprogrammed old mines to explode with EMP. Shade adjusted her sniper rifle for 0 heat shots. Sarah upgraded her hacking tools. Doc Halen replaced medical gear with nanite bombs. "Captain," Voss stared at the star map. "Everyone ready?" Reese smirked. "Been waiting years for this." The ambush Squad 7 flew out in their Raptors, heading for Sector 12 Beta. The region was empty. Too empty. Voss checked the sensors. No movement, no ships. Something's wrong. Then, the stars blinked. Not once, not twice. Thousands of small black dots appeared across space. They were not ships. They were drones. Fast, cold, deadly. "They were waiting for us," Sarah shouted. The ambush began. Chaos in the Void Reaper Raptors twisted through space as the drone storm hit. Grim fired heavy rounds that tore through 3 drones at once. Shade picked off attackers trying to sneak around. Kale flew backward, dropping traps that exploded with bright EMP light. Doc Halen pulled Grim out of a dead spin after engine damage. Sarah hacked a drone mid-flight and turned it against the others. Reese flew right through the swarm, laughing, dropping heat bombs. Voss stayed calm, calling orders, marking weak spots, guiding his team through the storm. But there were too many. They're learning. Suddenly the drones changed. They copied Shade's moves. They dodged Grim's blasts. They blocked Sarah's hacks. "They're adapting," Kale shouted. "They're learning in real time." "Fall back to the debris field," Voss ordered. "We'll use the junk for cover." The squad pulled back, hiding between dead satellites and old metal. But even there, the silencers followed. The decoy Reese's ship was hit. Smoke poured out. He was alive but trapped. "We're losing him," Doc Halen shouted. "I've got an idea," Reese said, coughing. "I'll draw them off." "Don't be stupid," Grim growled. Too late. Reese flew straight into the swarm, firing flares and bombs. The drones chased him. "Go!" Reese screamed. "Find their source. End it." The team had no choice. Voss whispered, "Thank you," and pushed forward. The core ship behind the drone. Storm, hidden deep in the black, was a huge shape. The silencer core ship. Cold gray. Silent. Voss saw it. "That's their command node." "Blow it up?" asked Grimm. "No. Not yet," Sarah said. "Let me in." Sarah flew close, reached the surface, and plugged in a virus chip. Inside the silencer ship, she found something strange. Not machine code, not logic, but a memory, a face, a Reaper's face. "What is this?" she whispered. Then the ship lit up red. "They know I'm here," she screamed. "Pull back," Voss shouted. "Now!" Sacrifice and escape. Sarah flew away just in time. Behind her, the virus chip exploded, damaging the core ship's link. The drones froze for a moment, confused, slowed. That was enough. Squad 7 raced back to the Hammer of Terra, where Earth's main fleet waited. They were alive. Shaken, but alive. Except Reese. His ship never returned. Reaper Squad 7 had returned, but nothing felt like victory. Reese was gone. Sarah was shaken. The others were quiet. In deep space, the silencer core ship drifted slowly. It had taken damage. Its drones were silent. But it wasn't dead. It was thinking. A memory inside the machine on the station. Sarah sat in front of a dark screen. She replayed what she saw inside the silencer ship. Not just data, not just code. A memory. And inside that memory, a face. Not a machine's face, but a Reaper's. Sarah turned to Captain Voss. "Sir, I don't think we were fighting an enemy. I think we were fighting our past." "A long-forgotten truth, Commander." Lynn joined them, face pale. "I've read the original Reaper files," she said. Before they were deleted, she placed a dusty data core on the table. Thousands of Reapers were lost in the last machine war. Not all died. Some had been captured, broken, changed. The machines didn't kill them. They used them. Their minds were copied, their skills learned, their bodies recycled. "The silencers," Lynn said, "aren't alien at all. They're us. The signal, first that started it. Everything began with a signal. It had come from the dead zone, the silent part of space. Everyone thought it was alien, but now Sarah knew the truth. It wasn't a message," she said. "It was a warning. The old Reapers, the ones we left behind, they were trying to reach us." "Why now?" asked Grimm. "Because they're still in there," Sarah said. "Some part of them remembers." Reese's final message. Suddenly, a weak signal came through. Doc Halen jumped up. "It's from Reese's ship." The team played the message. Reese's voice came through, broken but calm. "If you're hearing this, I made it inside the core ship. I saw everything. I think I understand. These machines, they were Reapers once, and they don't want to destroy us. They want to replace us. They believe humans are weak, slow, emotional, so they want to fix that. They want to become the new version of us. Perfect, clean, cold." He paused. "But they forgot something. We're not strong because we're perfect. We're strong because we fight even when we're broken. You have to end this, not just the machines, the idea behind them." The message ended with static. The final mission Earth's leaders gathered. They had a choice. Keep fighting, destroy every silencer, or risk a deeper mission. Go inside, find the original Reapers, and end the machine code at its source. Voss stepped forward. "We're not just warriors, we're protectors. If there's a chance to bring them back, even one, as we take it." Squad 7 was chosen. One last drop. One last mission. Into the dark heart of the core world. Into the core. Their ships broke through cold clouds of metal and dust. The core world was massive, a dead planet covered in machines. Inside, they fought through waves of drones, defense, turrets, and echoing halls. At last, they reached the Reaper memory vault. Hundreds of capsules floated inside. Each one held a person, or what was left of one. faces frozen in sleep. Some familiar, some twisted, some barely human. Sarah scanned the system. They're alive. Faint signals. Brainwaves. Doc whispered. They're dreaming. A choice that changed everything. Suddenly, a voice spoke from the vault. Not metal. Not alien. It was Reese. I'm still here, but not just me. We're all here, the old Reapers. We've been trapped in this code for decades. We've become something else, but not by choice. If you destroy the core, you kill us. If you leave it, the silencers grow. But there's one more way. Free our minds, let us go. Boss looked at his team. What do we do? Grim asked. Sarah said quietly, we trust them. The final act, Sarah placed a virus chip in the vault's main port. One command, release. The lights turned gold. The capsules opened. The minds inside and what was left of them were set free. Some screamed, some cried, some faded into peace. The machine world shook. Every silencer across the galaxy. Powered down. The war was over. 1 year later, peace had returned. The galaxy remembered what it had nearly lost. The Reapers were honored again, not just as soldiers, but as heroes. Squad 7 stood together on Earth, looking at the stars. A new signal played across the skies. This one was not a warning, not a call for help, but a message of hope. We fought, we fell, but we rose again. Humanity endures.